I ain't gonna lie. My voice sounds really different because I just woke up.
Mm-hmm.
So I sound like I'm gonna go on down to the range with old Hoss and get on Bessie. I don't know why I'd be riding a
Why
cow.
would you be raiding a cow with a guy called Haas?
I don't know. Sounded about right. Felt about wrong.
Uh-huh.
Speaking about why I have an accent too, I don't understand.
It's not
Point
good.
is, the reason my voice sounds different is because I done woke up just now. And apparently that means I got an accent.
Apparently.
All jokes aside, the voice is real. No, I ain't gonna lie, man. I just took a shit, damn near busted my O-ring.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, you know what's a good video? A video about shits that damn near busted our O-rings.
Yep.
Turns out, bad idea. But no, in truth, we like to keep it real here, you know. We like. I still got this accent. I don't understand what's going on
here.
But we like to keep it real here at $10 Slimer. We don't like to keep it all glossy and nice like the Logan boys.
We're
not. That's true. I mean, we're not hanging next to dead bodies. That's right. We're not hanging next to dead bodies.
That'd be a different video.
But you know, they're pretty boys. They don't talk about stuff like shitting.
Mm-mm.
But we do.
Yep.
Because we're fat pieces of crap.
I have several videos about shitting.
This is yet another
playlist coming at you.
This is yet another shit video. It's just funny to me, man. And I don't mean that in a movie 43 kind of way. Because, you know, that's stupid. But shitting is funny, and we don't talk about it. It's kind of like that thing you keep in the closet. You don't go to, you know, somebody else's house and go, hey, man, you know what? I took a damn shit. It was funny because of this. You just don't do that.
If you're keeping your shit in your closet, you got bigger problems.
That's true.
Yep.
That explains the smell of your clothes. But anyway, yeah, man. I woke up, one, having to take shit, and as aforementioned, it busted my bunghole. But two, the idea of shit was on my mind all day yesterday because we ate some Taco Bell.
It wasn't good.
Already kind of like a big thing.
Yeah. Already
a big step towards
appropriate to be talking about shit and Taco Bell in the same video.
That's like step number one to taking a big shit in your pants. But you got like violently ill.
It wasn't good.
And normally Taco Bell does loosen my bowels, but
I will say this: I don't think I've ever gotten the shits from Taco Bell, and that seems to have continued because I'm tighter than freaking Jed Clampett's wallet. I don't know what that means.
What? He was greedy?
Yeah, I guess.
No, but yeah. or is the accent throwing you off?
Yep.
No, yeah, man, it got you violently ill. It's gotten me sick before, but I love Taco Bell. But I just thought it was funny, you know. The people just know you're going to get the shit somewhere along the way if you eat Taco Bell.
Yep.
But speaking of knowing that you're going to get the shits, I have a story that has to do with me knowing that I was going to get the shits, and like a fool, I went ahead and did it anyway. Now, I had precedent to know because me and the Guardian, you know, we used to hang out and, you know, just go around, do stupid shit. And I mean, it's not really stupid. It was loser shit. But one day,
talk.
Yeah.
It's not really shit.
One day I forgot where we went, but it was late. And we decided to stop by a Walmart and get something to nosh on and come back home and just fuck around, you know, watch some TV or whatever, because we weren't tired. So we stopped by Walmart and we're like, well, what are we going to snack on? And he decides, hey, I feel like some ice cream. I'm like, I'm down for some cream of ice. And cream of ice turns out to be just water. Yep. So we went for actual ice cream. And yeah, we went to the ice cream aisle and I said, oh man, I love mint chocolate chip. Let's get that. Great, right? Yeah. I don't know what it is about mint chocolate chip. Turns out it was a nightmare on my stomach, but
is that why you never eaten mint chocolate chips since then?
Yep. Yeah, man, we got one of those, you know, gallon tubs or half gallon or whatever the fuck, and me and him shared it, which is already piggish enough, but you know, we ate that bad boy, and he left. You know, it was good. After a while, he left, and I had to work the next morning, like at 5 a.m, and dude, I did not sleep. I shit everything in my body out. I'm talking like I was an ass cannon, and I could not stop. And it was weird because you know how I mean, you know the smell of your own recipe, you know?
It's not great.
Yeah, this did not smell like me. It smelled like something was wrong. And it got to the point where I was just shitting what looked like little leaflets, like light brown leaflets. And I was like, dude, is my fucking stomach lining ripping out or what the fuck? Anyway, it was horrible, man. And the smell, even though I got no shit on me, none. Like, there was no shit on my person. I didn't shit on myself. I just got the shits. Mm-hmm. The smell, that different smell just stuck to me. Like some fucking, virus. I was like, what is this? And, I showered just to make sure. I knew I wasn't dirty, but I showered and it still lingered. And I was like, damn. Anyway, it was an epic shit. Turns out later, the next week that Guardian popped in, I'm like, dude, I got the fucking shits with that fucking mint chip. And he's like, dude, me too. And I couldn't stop shitting for 2 days. And I'm like, what the fuck is it with mint chip? Maybe it's the mint, but is it artificial? I don't know. There's
definitely something wrong with that.
No, you think so?
Because I've eaten mint chip.
I avoided mint chip forever, though I loved it. And one time when I was in prison, my pal Tiny, who of course was not Tiny, he says, hey man, because I was poor in prison. I didn't want to ask mom for money. I did on occasion, but it was usually like, hey, can you send me a book? Something like, 'cause it's fucking boring in here and I'm tired of reading James fucking asshole Patterson, who sucks, and Dean Koontz ain't doing it for me.
Nope.
And there's no Scott Joplin around here. So yeah. But other than that, I kind of stayed a little barren in there, So my friend Tiny was really nice, and he goes, hey man, you want something from the commissary, On top of that, he would just normally get me stuff, which was cool, but he, something meant something special, a treat. And I go, well, I don't know, man, you tell me. And he's like, I got you an ice cream if you want, which is like the Mercedes-Benz of food items in there. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. He goes, what flavor do you want? And like a fool, I go, mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
It's great. And he's like, cool. So he brings me, and they're little like half pints or whatever. And he brings me a mint chocolate chip, man. And we reminisce and chat and nosh on our fucking little, little pints or whatever.
Little sweet treats.
Dude, I'm not even joking. Like 30 minutes later, it's me, him, and another friend of ours, and we're all eating ice cream. They ate their ice creams, whatever flavors they were, and I'm sitting on my bunk. Now you got to realize, if you haven't seen our video about how the restroom shower situations work in prison, they're not comfortable. You're shitting around people, you're showering around people. Sometimes the shower's open, sometimes it's not, etc. This was at this particular moment, we were in lockdown, a lockdown style situation. Not in the sense that this prison was in lockdown, but there was elements of a lockdown in place because they were suspecting some sort of smuggling going on in the prison. So they shut the showers down the whole fucking day, and nobody could shower for about 2 weeks, which sucks, by the way, on its own. And, anyway, they were doing these searches, and we were the last building in the whole fucking unit. So our search took until the end of the week and a half. So our shower was closed the whole fucking time, So keep that in mind. So I eat this little fucking thing. It's good. It's delish even. 30 minutes later, we're just chatting there, and I'm at, ooh. So something's kicking. And I don't know what the fuck it is. It doesn't hurt. But I know I gotta feast. I gotta defecate. I gotta drop the bomb, if you will. So I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna head on over to that crapper over there. And, drop a load.
You said it like that, and they were like, what?
Yeah. They were like, we don't need to know that. No, so I go over to the crapper, and man, it's full of people, dude. There's somebody in every crapper, and I'm like, So I try to turn into a stooge. And then I go back to the bunk.
And then you drop to the floor and do.
Yeah. I go back to the bunk and I'm like, man, they're all full. So I put my little toilet paper, again, prison etiquette. You reserve your place. I put my little toilet paper there. And I got next on whoever, stands up. And I go back and sit down because I have to. I have to clench as best as I can. And I'm sitting on the bunk, which is pure metal, and I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. And dude, it seems that day everybody on the fucking crapper decided to take a 10-hour crap. Because I'm like, oh, and it's hurt. Now it's hurting because it's like it's knocking, you know?
Crocodile bark. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scratching my ass right now.
What the hell?
All right.
Yeah, man, that sucker is, you know, it's weaseling its way out of my butt. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. And it feels hot and magma-like. So I'm like, oh, boy. And okay, you know, I don't know if you've experienced this, but sometimes if you hold the turd in long enough, it just kind of goes away.
Yeah.
You know, the feeling of urgency. Oh, that's nice. The feeling, that was like a $10,000 toy. And it just felt, no, the feeling of urgency.
I have to scratch my ass.
He's not scratching his ass, by the way, but he is. No, yeah, the feeling of urgency just escaped me. So I'm like comfortable and like I can hold it for a little bit longer, thankfully, while these people finish taking their ages long shit. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, okay, good. Then I feel like, oh, I gotta kind of cut a fart here, and that will relieve the tension.
Mm-hmm. Oh no!
So I go for it. Because it felt, you know, you just can feel, you can gauge whether a fart is safe or not sometimes.
You kind of have to do a little bit of a clench fart, though.
Yeah. No. I mean, I was fully aware that I had to clench. The whole works.
Yeah.
I was prepared for this fart. Didn't feel like a horrible one. Didn't feel like I was going to burst anything out. Nothing. So I release it slowly. The clench slow. And it felt really warm. Mm-hmm. But it felt like nothing came out. Like nothing came out. You know? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. So I'm sitting there still talking. These people are still taking hour shits. And then I get a whiff of that smell that I remembered from oh so long ago. And I'm like, what the? Oh, no. And I stop dead in my tracks. And I tell Tiny, dude, I think I took a shit on my bunk. And he's like, what? And I'm like, dude, I don't know how. I mean, I know how, but... It didn't feel like anything came out. Like a ghost could have come out is how it felt, you know? And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, I'm pretty damn sure. So I kind of pull up my pants like this, you know, and look down. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't look like anything. And, you know, I do kind of a little butt raise. And it feels like something super glued onto the bunk. And I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, dude, I shit my fucking pants. And he's laughing his ass off, of course. And now I'm in a pickle, man. Because I shit my pants, and I don't know the amount of shit that has leaked out. Because I didn't even feel shit leak out. So I'm like, this has got to be some spy-level shit.
Freaking stealth.
Yep. Okay. And
I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting over a sickness here, so I'm not the most.
So, yeah, man, I'm like, damn, this is not good. You know, if you walk with shit, if it's runny shit, you got the risk of it running down your leg and... You know, the whole situation, if it's a lump, then you're really out of there. But it's not a lump, I know that. And apparently it's so runny that I didn't even feel that thing. So I'm like, oh, man, this is bad. So he's like, well, what do I do, man? Well, you know, how can I help, right? So I'm like, give me my toilet paper. So I lose my spot in line because he has to get my toilet paper from where I preserved my spot. And I reach in there and I kind of go for the blind wipe, you know. Not in my ass, but, you know, my boxers. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, man, this is the wateriest shit I have ever experienced in my life. And he's laughing, you know, and I'm like, dude, there is no fucking shower. It's locked. And I just shit myself.
Yep.
I can't go sit on a toilet because I got shit possibly all over my anus. And, yeah, so what ended up happening, man, is I sat there for a good, 3 hours. With shit all over me, holding my shit in, and then when they called a recess, I don't know, it's they call it rec, you know, recess basically for adults. They called rec, and most of the people in the building, you know, left, and there's only 5, 6, 7 people in there, and I go, this is my chance, right? So I go stealth doing a fucking spider crouch,
doing like a turd that's knocked out.
Yeah. and I sneak up onto that
Spider
toilet.
crouch? What? When have you seen a spider crouch?
I don't know. I'm assuming they crouch. I mean, they crouch, right? They're like on 8 legs, crouching permanently. I don't know. Why are we talking about spiders? The point is, I go over to the toilet. I sit down. I let that sucker rip. Woo! It ripped. And then I'm like, dude, I probably got shit all over this lid. There's a situation going on here. Plus, my boxers are all full of shit. It's not good. So I clean up the boxer area as much as I can. I feel around. There's nothing on my legs that I can detect, but it could have dried over the time. And the smell, by the way, is fucking atrocious. And I'm like, okay, this is good. I've gotten the situation under control somewhat. There's so few people in there, and Tiny's making sure they kind of stay away. So I get up and look, and sure enough, I've gotten some on the rim of the toilet because it was all over me fucking ass. I was gonna say as a pirate. So I cleaned that up as best as I can. I soap the fucking lid and clean that, so nobody else sits in my shit. And I'm like, all right, now what I gotta do, because we got no showers. So what I do is I get a shampoo bottle and I stick it to the last sink on the end of the showers. I stick it into the sink, and then we open a little slit. Me and Tiny open a little slit, and then we stick. We did some surgery on it, like a fucking when the movies when they open the lungs and they stick the pen in. That's kind of what we did with this thing, and he opened the water, the faucets on the sink, and it shoots out this stream of water. Okay, now it's not just shooting anywhere. We aimed it so it shot into the drying area between the toilets and the shower, which provides minimal privacy. It's literally got 2 views, one into the living area and one into the guard's nest. So somebody's going to see me butt fucking naked at one point, frantically trying to scrub my nethers.
Yep.
With a stream of water this, that big. So yeah, that's what I do, man. I squelch into a corner and this little stream of water is hitting my butt, and I'm trying desperately to clean myself, and it has limited effect because it's just not covering enough space. And if there's anything about me is there's much space to cover.
Although we do have to say your butt is really small.
It is,
but when there's water this big,
yeah, it's not doing much, But I get in there, I soap everything. Wash everything, all the soap off. But that smell, just like last time, it stuck to me. And I don't understand what that smell is. But dude, the same effect. It didn't take but 30 minutes later, I'm already on the toilet again. Thankfully, I made it on time this time. And I'm shitting. And, that flaky kind of look to the shit and everything. It was bad. It was not good. And it was one of the worst shit situations ever. But recently, we were at the Goodwill because we like to frequent them secondhand shops because, we find some nuggets in there sometimes. And by that, I mean shit nuggets, which is adequate because that's what we're talking about. But recently at the Goodwill, we had just had Taco Bell and I had to take a massive shit.
Yep.
Now, the Goodwill is not a place to take a massive shit because this particular Goodwill is not well taken care of.
Nope.
It's very
shitty
border town, and if you go into the restroom, it always stinks like piss, which is not good. I mean, it's a big restroom and it's private, so that's good. You can lock yourself in and do your business, but I had to take a massive shit. It was a brewing, so I would go into the restroom, lock myself in, and this thing, once again, it's knocking, and I'm like, ooh, I got to get to that toilet right there, which now seems like 10,000 miles away, quick! And it's so urgent that I rush over, pull my pants down, and sit down and just unleash because it's that urgent. Unfortunately, I was in such a rush that when I sat down, I sat my ass higher on the toilet than I usually do. You usually center yourself so that your shit actually goes into the fucking hole.
Yeah.
Well, it still went somewhat into the hole, but I sat so high up that part of it shot up my butt crack and just onto the rim and between my cheeks and the rim. And I'm like, oh no. What the hell, man?
This whole time out there, I was like, why is he taking so long?
Yeah, and then there's somebody jiggling the door handle like, let me in. First of all, you asshole. Can't you get the hint that somebody has defecated on themselves in here? Second, come on, man. I realize, like you, I've been in some situations, i.e. at that precise moment, where I got to shit myself. But come on. What are you going to do? Shit on me? Anyway, I realized the mistake immediately. And I'm like, damn it. But the alternative is I get up, shift downward, shove more shit into everything, and continue, or just continue from that position. So I finish the shit from that position, which adds more feces to the current location I'm at. Once that's done, I'm like, I got to do something about this, obviously. I go for an initial wipe because, you got to take care of that area first before you do any other movement. So I reach down and do the tilt and reach. And the moment I pierce the veil between the rim and my butt cheek down to get in there and wipe, dude, there's shit all over my hand. And my reaction is like fucking, it's just like instinctual, like pull away, right? Like if a croc was biting down on your hand, a shit croc. I pull away and there's literal like feces all over my hand. Well, not all over, but there's a lot of feces. But when I pull up, a little turd goes into the middle of the fucking restroom, and I'm like, oh no! Now there's shit on the floor. So now I have to clean my hand, and I'm like, dude, this cannot get worse. So anyway, what I end up doing is I have to clean the butt cheek and rim under the tilt, that I'm doing here, so that I can actually get to the butt area and clean that. So that's what I do. I feel somewhat comfortable with the butt area cleaning and the butt cheek rim situation, but I realize I still got the other butt cheek and rim situation going on, right? So I do that, and then I'm like, okay, I can kind of get up, and hopefully nothing will be dripping or something like that, right? So I do that, and I look back, and there's still a little shit on the fucking rim, right around the back, where the crack is, and I'm like, man, this is a nightmare. So I clean that up, and I'm cleaning, dude, and this shit is like the most persistent. It's like I'm painting a fucking Van Gogh or some shit. It's not coming off. I'm like, why? Like, I've cleaned it off, but that hue, that brownish shit hue is still on there. I'm like, what is this porcelain, Boris? I don't understand. You can go to space with it, but you can't clean it? The fuck? So I fucking like Zoidberg walk over to the sink, and I wet some towels, and I go over there. I'm scrumming this rim. Now, I know this is a disgusting story, but you got to give me some credit. Most people would just leave their shit all over the place. I've seen it 1,000 times if I've seen it once. And I've seen it once, believe me. So that means I've seen it 1,000 times.
It was actually your turn when you did it.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, dude, clean your shit most of the time, But I didn't want to leave shit there for other people or for the workers, worse, So I'm scrubbing this fucking toilet rim, and it's not coming. I mean, it came off. The chunks and whatever came off. Or watery chunks, I should say. But the stain, the ghost of the feces is still there. And I'm like, dude. So I settled with like a yellowish tone because it's not coming off. Now, I realize the other problem is that I'm standing with my pants down to my ankles in the middle of a restroom, kind of crouched over like a spider. That's right. And I'm like, okay, now what? So I have to go over to the sink, get a bunch of towels, wet them, and I do like a maintenance wipe on my ass cheeks because, the whole situation that happened there earlier. Then I have to go sit on the toilet right this time. That's right, the toilet still has the ghost of feces on it, and go for a good reach and wipe because, I didn't get that done right. Then once all that's done, I'm like, all right, nothing ran down my legs, thankfully, none of that stuff. But now I got shit on the floor to clean up. There was shit everywhere. Mm-hmm. Then I go to the sink, and I hit the old, the old soap dispenser. And that little pressure that gives away with a button? There's none of that.
All right.
It's just going like
your butthole.
Yeah, like my loose butthole, and I'm like, oh no. No! So what I do is I bang that little fucking sucker on top, pops open, and the bag is all, like wrinkled because they've like sucked every inch of soap out of this thing, but you could still see the ghost soap in there, clinging to the walls.
A lot of ghosts in the story.
So, I'm not gonna lie, grabbed at it with my teeth and tore it open and kind of smushed my hand in there, and then I had tons of soap.
Are you serious?
And washed my hands. I come out, and the guy that's been wriggling at the fucking door handle for ages now gives me the stink eye, and then walks in. Little did he know that he would walk into the stink room.
Yep.
Anyway, It's been a couple of stories about me shitting.
Yep.
And the foibles that followed. It was not fun.
Nope.
It was not cool. But it happened. And we're not going to hide that from anyone.
So our next video is you eating an entire pint of...
Yeah. That's my ultimate challenge. Eat a pint of mint chocolate chip.
With Taco Bell seasoning.
Oh. Anyway, this has been Ahab and the Goon Tick. Talking turds,
yep,
as it were.
There's a regular series coming at you. Yeah. Talking Turds. Part 1 through 1000.
Like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscription button. The notifications. Don't forget them, because we're out.